With the break of spring and the thawing of the ice, Oslo is within our reach. That said, our troops are exhausted and need to get ready for the next operation. Also, our fuel reserves are completely empty. So for now, the Air Force has been grounded and we are relocating some troops, stabilizing the front line and getting ready for the next attack. This will be a two-pronged assault. We're going to get the mountain special divisions to push alongside here to cut off the remaining troops of the Swedish army. And I'm relocating some of our modern tank divisions to push along the plains here in Östlandet and take Oslo. Hopefully that will capitulate Norway. We'll see how far Norway is towards capitulation actually. Where are they? Where is Norway? There they are. 60% actually only, given how much Norway is left. That's rather surprising, but it might be that they don't capitulate once we take Oslo. But that will certainly cut off the troops here, and then we'll work on cleaning up the rest. The question has been raised: why are we doing this? Well, I am trying to secure the Baltics. I am not going to be able to capture the islands, but if I can take Kristiansand, then we can contest the straits, and basically the guns of Kristiansand can be employed to threaten anything that goes through here, which means troop transports are no longer going to be able to traverse the area. That said, it is still entirely possible for reinforcements to potentially get through Denmark and to reach Sweden, and then from there to enact further naval invasions. So that's why we're still trying to break Denmark. And I don't like this. As strategically, having this many Americans deployed in our backyard is threatening the whole German Baltic coast, which is a massive problem, because every time somebody lands here, the Germans are pulling troops off the defensive lines, which means that the numerically vastly superior Allied troops are pushing in, and that then means that we'll have to counter them, and all kinds of nasty mayhem. So not something I necessarily want to deal with, and that's why that's happening. But first things first, we are going to have to clear up this little naval invasion, and we have to get the troops relocated, make sure that they are actually where they are supposed to be, get the modern tank divisions moved off. Yeah, they are taking the trains. And most importantly, we are going to have to reduce our fuel consumption and build up some stockpiles. Now, a lot of this is, well, what are we currently using? The Navy, and obviously the tanks moving around, but the Navy is using a fair amount. And we are getting counterattacked here by probably Americans. Yes, Americans. That's fine. We'll hold that without too much trouble. But we have to do something about the fuel situation here, and that is priority. I am also constructing refineries, but it is going to take a little bit of time for them to become active, because they are rather expensive. But yeah, once that has been restored a little, I wonder if we can trade with the Germans for fuel. That would be a negative. They have a little bit. I mean, I'll take it. I'll give them one factory. It's not a whole 8, but I'll take it. It gives us a little bit more fuel. I think we are trading too much for steel. Do I need? I think I'm okay with steel. Yes, I would love to have a little bit more aluminium. So we'll do that. And that, I think, sorts. Yeah, there we go. So all the trade with the Germans obviously benefits us as well as the Germans. And I am curious where we're losing submarines. Definitely not here. But we have lost a couple of our submarines actually in recent battles, which leads me to believe that the Allies have become a little bit more effective in their convoy escorts, and are reacting reacting relatively quickly to our submarine attacks, despite us being able to sink the occasional convoy and then retreat, which is kind of what we're trying to do here. So frequent naval engagements, but we are getting the convoys down without too much trouble. Okay, we're gonna have to wait for the divisions to get into place here and to regain some of their organization. In fact, I think I can change that front line a little bit, because I think we can attack from two vectors here. That's good. And we'll assault here with the tanks once they get there. That is going to take a little bit of time, but until then, and still I am seeing. Oh, these are German convoys. Yeah, okay. So these are German convoys, so that's not my problem. But well, not directly. But in terms of manufacturing, we are still short of the amphibious tanks. And we're still short of modern tanks, but we're getting there. So we've got, I think, 2 more tank divisions that need to be modernized, and then we are going to be ready for the European assault again. But I would like to complete the Scandinavian campaign before we do that. Anyway, I'll be back when my divisions are in place. We have a bit of fuel, and we're ready to run the next assault operation. Okay, we have everything in place. We're still relatively short on fuel, but we're trading for as much oil as we can possibly get from Germany, and that's about all the oil we're gonna get. So I think we'll do it two-pronged. We'll do a two-pronged attack. First of all, we're going to get the fighters up in the air again. So that gives us area supremacy. We are going to use the captured Norwegian cipher for additional combat bonuses. And then we will begin just with the mountain divisions to see if we can push through. And then followed up, once we've destroyed the Swedish troops in the north, followed up by the armored divisions. Just to make sure that we're in the right air zone. Yes, we are in the right air zone, and this should not be a problem for our fighters to take on. So off we go. And that attack followed up here. Okay. The defenders are mostly Americans, but a mixed allied group, obviously. And against the experienced mountain divisions, that should not be too much of a problem. How is the air situation looking? We have green air. Any kind of bombers and fighters are going to be rapidly dispatched here, I think. So they will not stand much of a chance against our jets. And yes, our fuel is already rapidly depleting from the air operation, but we'll get to it. We've already broken through, and I think we'll just leave one division here to maintain the position. This is still a hilly area. Our tanks are getting counterattacked now by some courageous American scouts, but I don't think they're going to get very far. And yeah, with what little fuel we have available until the construction of more refineries is going to be completed, we're going to make do for now and just maintain our aerial superiority. Although we need the planes in the air, and it is costing the Allies dearly. If we are running very low, then we'll just we'll ground the Air Force. But our mountaineers are making their way in, despite some reinforcements being rushed in, but I don't think they will stand a chance. Once we're done with the campaign here, I will move the mountain troops into Europe, because they don't really have an awful lot of a purpose here anymore. Once we're done with the mountain operations, and I think this is pretty much the last mountainous operation, or one of the last mountainous operations that we'll be facing. Okay, the assault has begun. Second group from the north is still moving in, but we are stretching our supply lines a little bit here. I am going to start moving the tanks in from the other side, so just so they can assist with with the assault. We do have a railway battery in the area as well. So once the tank divisions have broken through the last remaining defenders here, who do not have a chance of actually breaching the tank's armor, then I think it's fine. We're already done here. Tanks have moved in, and we can get the tanks to wipe out the remaining troops there, which means we'll leave a couple defenders here, move the mountain divisions in, and I think that will be the end of that Swedish aggregation up in the north. Now we've got the tanks attacking from the other side as well. Just have to keep an eye on the fuel situation. Obviously, with the tanks on the ground, this is less than ideal. But I will leave one more division here for the eventual counterattack. But once we've made it across the rivers here, there they are. They are encircled, and we can begin the assault from all directions to wipe out these divisions here with the last remaining fuel reserves that we have at the moment. And that is going to be under Swedish command. Probably most of the rest of the Swedish troops in the area. Now there's still another group here, but we'll be wiping out most of the Swedish divisions here. And that will be that. Okay. I will call that a victory, and the tank divisions immediately stop. The same for the Air Force, because we have once again run out of fuel, and we do need to ensure that our naval operations continue until we have constructed a couple more refineries and we actually get to the point of, no longer rationing the fuel. But that was a successful operation. We have wiped out 134,000 troops in this little area. The Denmark assault divisions are still being supplied, but I think the next operations with the armored divisions now is going to be towards Oslo. And I think we'll do that without air cover because we have run a little bit out. But let's see if we can actually make the push directly towards Oslo. And while we are clearing up in the north here, I think the tanks are not going to have any problem cutting through. And we'll use the mountain divisions to reinforce that from the other side. But I think even without aerial superiority, the tanks are going to cut through towards Oslo. And once Oslo falls, I'm curious to see how much resistance Norway is still going to have, and how much of an assault they can still mount. We'll leave those divisions here and send the mountaineers in. We do have to leave one back. And I'm going to just operate with fallback lines here for now. I'm going to get the mountain divisions to hold the area here. And the tank divisions are attacking Oslo while defending against a desperate Swedish counterattack here. I think the Allies are trying to rush to reinforcements in, but that's not going to help them because with 3 tank divisions on the assault, Oslo is going to fall, even though only the 1st tank division can actually push, but that's fine. We'll bring them in. We've got the fuel, as long as the Air Force is not in the area. We've got the fuel to take Oslo, and then we will see how... I'll just make sure that we're pinning the divisions here, that they don't get through, while the tanks making their way in. And Norway has capitulated. Yep, that's what I suspected. Once we took Oslo, Norway has capitulated. We've got a couple of planes, a couple of other equipment, but that, my friends, is the fall of the first of the Scandinavian nations. And I would say now what we can do is mop up the rest of the Allied troops that are now stranded in the area. And I'm not going to bring the Air Force up just because the just because the fuel situation is not conducive to that. But we'll have to reorganize our front lines a little bit. Make sure that we get some troops here. In the area. But I think we can now begin wiping out the Allied divisions that are mostly disconnected from supply at this point. So I do need. Where are we going to begin? I do need 2 mountain divisions here. The other troops are moving south. So let's get everybody organized for now. Which means these troops here are going to be taking. Oh, these are different flanks, aren't they? Ah, it's fine. We don't need to organize them. But we've got a couple of cut-off divisions here. Which means I'm going to leave 1 tank division behind and get the other 2 to help already with clearing this out. And yeah, they are all going to be very much running out of supply at this point. So we'll see if we can. We'll just chip away the north of the bridge area here, get divisions in place to hold the other front line, and everybody else, yeah, is just going to be completely wiped out. So we'll move in from the north, get the 2 tank divisions to clear that, and then we'll move across the river. Somebody please move to Oslo. I'm gonna get one division to hold Oslo, please. That would be lovely. While we are clearing this out here. And this tank division can yeah, we're okay on fuel, so they can already start assaulting in the north. And I think we'll probably be overrunning them here at this point. Let's start attacking across the river on the other side, while also attacking from the north here. And we'll just use the momentum at this stage and get everybody to join in the cleanup operation. I think the 3 tank divisions are going to be my armored spearhead, really. Little counterattack here. Front line here looks stable. Yeah, front line is stable. So everybody else here can help with the cleanup, and I can operate 3 tank divisions as long as we are not using the Air Force. So let's keep pushing them, and let's keep cutting them off. And we can assist from this direction already. And everybody else is just moving in slowly. Okay, mountain divisions here holding. I've got a couple more mountain divisions here, which are going to come around, help cutting this off. And I think that's a bit ambitious. Alright, we'll get the tanks in. And that should cut off these 9 American divisions in the north. That would be a relatively big... Yep, there we go. Divisions encircled. Just hold for now. You don't need to keep attacking at this stage. But you can assist with wiping these out in the north. And they are gone. That would be another 9 American divisions. And yeah, I think we're okay. We can already move on with the attack. There's a Swedish tank division that's on the retreat, but I don't think they are going anywhere. I'm gonna let my tank divisions rest a little bit at this point and get all the infantry to follow. How are we on supply? We're about to connect Oslo, I think. Are we? Actually, we don't have a supply route to Oslo, so let's make that happen very quickly while we're at it. That should not be much. Yep, there we go. And that will be once I have that. Where is it? Here. Yeah, that'll connect the Oslo supply hub, and then everybody else just needs to move. Oh, apologies. It's we have a bit of a thunderstorm outside. Everybody else just needs to move into position. So I'm going to get the mountain divisions probably 4 mountain divisions over here. And then we will continue the assault from there, just so we are not overtaxing the supply lines. The tank divisions can wait here for now. 3 divisions, 1st Army. Your assault will be Stavanger. How are our supply lines looking? We do need to wait for Oslo to come online to recapture our supply. But yeah, we'll get the tank division sorted. Someone needs to hold that down there, actually. Get me one of these divisions down here. Okay. Once we've got Oslo connected, then and we have supply down here, then we will continue the operation. Until then, we're just gathering a bit more fuel, sinking a couple more ships, and generally cause mayhem for the Allies. I've not seen much of an action from them. I think there's a bit of shock in the Allied headquarters about the loss of Oslo. We may need a couple more divisions in Oslo to make sure that they are actually holding here, because it looks like the Allies are rapidly trying to retake Oslo, and I think that's not going to happen, but it's going to take a couple of days. Yeah, we should start having a railway. We should start seeing supply. Let's get Oslo to run supply, and then we can continue. Okay, Oslo has completed supply. Everybody else here should be reasonably in trouble. And I've got 3 mountain divisions. I'm not sure where the other ones are, but let's bring the rest of the infantry down. And is that a supply hub? That may be a supply hub. Anyway, we'll start pushing through the south here towards whatever that is. But the tanks have rested, and we'll start pushing through the south towards Kristiansand. And yeah, it's really just a cleanup operation. I'm not sure how many more troops they're going to start shipping in through Stavanger. I'm not actually opposed to that if they bring more troops in, because we do have a fair amount of divisions here that can make themselves useful. So let's, in fact, I'm actually going to get the mountain divisions to clear this out, because that is a mountainous province, while the tanks are moving around the south. This is forest territory that is not ideal, so we're probably not having our full potential in terms of damage that we're dealing. But it's good enough, and the mountaineers are going to be helping from the north. I think the rest of the mountain troops are currently holding the line here. Yes, that is true. So that's fine. They can do that. I don't think I can get 6 of them engaged here anyway. We'll send the mountain specialists to take this position here, while the tanks are going to be attacking around the southern line. And we'll have the infantry to follow this up once it's done. And we have 3 military factories at this point, after taking Oslo, I presume. I am going to crank up the construction of the crocodile, because these are going to need a couple more. And that means I am probably yes, I'm a bit short on steel, but we can trade with Germany for some more steel. That is not a big problem. There we go. Tanks are breaking through the remaining Allied lines. They have no way of actually penetrating the armor of these modern tanks. So let's open up the lines a little bit from this side. And everyone else is, yeah, I think the Allied forces in Scandinavia, at least in this part of Scandinavia, are pretty much done for. I don't think there's much left that they're going to be able to do. And there they are defeated. The bigger problem is going to be supply, because Oslo is a little far away. So Kristiansand should probably be the first target of supply here for us. Okay, tanks are rolling in. Armor is rolling in. I do need the infantry to follow, so we'll get them to do that. And we will get the armored divisions to push all the way to Kristiansand. There should be... Where's this railway line going? There might be a railway line going there, so we'll get the infantry to follow up. And we'll use our momentum. We seem to be struggling here in the north against the dug-in Japanese defenders. And that's okay. In that case, we'll leave them for now. There's a lot of Americans stationed in the north here. So let the infantry follow up here, and this. Oh, there is a supply hub here as well. Okay, that's nice. They seem to have constructed some additional supply lines for us. That's much appreciated. And yeah, the tanks are unstoppable at this stage, pretty much. So we are taking Kristiansand. Some divisions have been overrun, and I think that's where we'll stop for now until the supply lines have normalized. We'll just send infantry in to hold, and we will need one infantry division to hold here. Actually, we're sending one in, so that's okay. We'll just keep going. Tanks have taken Kristiansand, and that supply hub is not connected actually. So that means yeah, no supply connection from capital because that supply is connected, but Kristiansand itself isn't. So we'll use this one once the lines have normalized. Tanks can rest for a little bit. I would like you to just concentrate on being the armored spearhead. We'll push one forward already. Actually, they're counterattacking in Kristiansand, not going to help them. We'll push one position forward. Next we can take Stavanger, and then they are completely out of supply there. We'll just have to wait for the infantry to catch up and make its way over into Kristiansand. And there we go. Still some tenacious Japanese defenders in the mountains, but what we can do instead is we can send the infantry. This is relatively well defended. There are a bunch of Irish divisions here. Another supply hub there in the north, interestingly enough. But we'll let everything sort itself out for now until we have the supply situation under control, and until we have the hubs here connected. And we will just defend against these breakout attempts. I think we can just loop around into Stavanger with the tanks and get everybody else to deal with the relatively headless allied positions here. I just need the infantry to follow this up. In fact, I am running a little low on infantry, so let's get another division down here, and probably another one down here. Okay. And we will attempt an assault in the north here. We'll see if the infantry can make this happen, and we can support from here. And once the infantry has pulled up, then we can start moving the tanks around again, and we will try to take Stavanger and make sure that these guys don't disembark. I just have to make sure that my tanks aren't getting cut off. So we'll send one tank division over already. I think they are... yeah, I think they are trying to escape. Okay, so... we will try to take away their port. This is risky because the tank divisions are going to need to operate somewhat at the edge of their capabilities, or of their defensive capabilities. But I think we can take Stavanger just to make sure that they can't manage to escape any further. Attack from the north here, at least pinning these divisions at the gates of Stavanger. So 2 more tank divisions. I think we can prevent a Dunkirk mostly, and make sure that they don't escape. Okay, I might have enough fuel to get the Air Force in again. So let's get aerial superiority going while we're doing this. Okay, this works. Tank division has to defend here. And I think once we have another tank division in, there we go. Then we can. Okay, let's defend here first. Can we? No, we can't support that, unfortunately. That's it's 4 American infantry divisions. Once the tanks have. Okay, they've pushed us back at the brink here. The Americans have pushed us back from Stavanger. So we do need to wait for, and the Americans have decrypted us. Yes, we do need to wait for the infantry to catch up. Okay, this attack here isn't going to work. They might get some more divisions out than I really wanted to, but we will try another assault here already and see if we can retake this position from the weakened Americans. Jets are in the air at this point. And we are getting infantry to back them up, and the rest of the tank divisions as well. This one can rest for a bit, but we will again make an attempt on Stavanger. Let's try to pin these Americans in the north here, and just to prevent them from escaping, I would like to get these divisions captured if possible. And you assist with the assault. Tanks are pushing through. Kristiansand is held. Artillery is coming in, which means I can send all 3 tank divisions in. And again, a tenacious Japanese defense here, trying to desperately hold this position. Tanks are not the most effective here because we're fighting in the forests, which is not the greatest territory for them. But we will try to encircle what's left of the Allied forces here and prevent their escape as much as possible. And obviously, also once they make their way out into the Atlantic, they'll be hunted by our submarines again. I do have a couple of reinforcements that I can send, because some of my submarine squadrons have taken some losses, but all in all, it's sustainable. There we go. Okay, tanks on the move, but obviously due to the conditions on the ground, and in the forests, they're not going to be the most effective at that. But I will try as much as possible to catch these divisions if I can, as many as I can here in this little cauldron, and take the last port off them. I think a fair few have escaped, unfortunately. But yeah, I think our pinning operation has sort of reached the end of what it can do. Okay, another attempt at and again the Japanese are there to defend, to do their best at trying to defend Stavanger. But once we have, we've got all the tanks in position, and this is the battle that will decide the fate of the Allies. And we'll see if can we get 1 tank to take over the defense and the other 2 making the break. I think we can do that. Yeah, there's 1 Japanese division that's still holding. The rest is trying desperately to get on the ships, but we have taken Stavanger. They have nowhere to escape, and from there on now they have no more supply. They don't have a port to escape from. We have the aerial superiority. We are running very low on fuel, but we have shot down almost 40 enemy fighters just in the recent days. And we are holding Stavanger, which means that from here on out we can keep pushing into the northern areas and make an assault here on weakened enemy divisions with some support from the tanks in the south. And then I think the job of the tanks is mostly done, to be honest. Because because there is the rest is relatively. This is still forest territory. The rest is relatively hilly and mountainous territory, so it's less than ideal. Support that attack from the south. Just some exhausted troops that have tried to get out through Stavanger but haven't made it. The Japanese troop convoys. My gosh, that is. Let's just take a quick look at that, shall we? That is the combined Allied fleet chasing off German submarines from the Baltics. That is the combined Allied fleet. Yep, there's a fair amount of them. I think now they should be starving because they should no longer have any connection. Okay, we've got a naval invasion happening near Vasa. Oh, it's just a little desperate French division. There's nothing to worry about. They should be starving at this point because they should no longer have any supply connection. I think they still have a supply hub somewhere. Let's actually move south here because there's nobody left there. Oh, we've left this open, have we? Get me one division to hold this here. Have the French landed? No, the French have not landed. Okay, so yes, I think we are wrapping this up, and that will be the end of the Norway campaign. There's not an awful lot left here. We've got some mountain divisions here that we can use to assault this lonely Swedish tank division. And oh, there's not actually, no one's actually holding this yet. Okay, so tanks attack here. Support from the south. Support from here. And that should not be much of a problem. And then we get the. I think my armored divisions need to rest a little bit. Let's see if we can assault the mountains again. Actually, no, that's not a great position. So instead, let's take this position, wipe out the remaining troops, and be done with it. Yep, we'll be wrapping up the remains of the Allied forces in Norway. Some have made their escape through Stavanger into the open Atlantic, and hopefully will be hunted down by our submarines. Some of them have been sunk in their boats in port, and the rest of them are sort of stuck here. So they are not going to get away. I'm going to let the tank divisions recover a little bit. And in fact, we can probably just use the troops here to cut them off there. And I think that'll just leave them all stuck in the mountains, which is a little unfortunate. But this is not something I need the tanks for. So the armored divisions can. We'll try another attack with the mountain troops here. Tanks less than ideal, but well, we'll give it a try. But we do need to clear out. This position here. So let's make that happen before they can reconnect. The Germans are welcome to join, and yeah, I think we are at this point just clearing this out. And maybe we can overrun them. We'll see. But they're losing ground in the mountains. The attack from multiple directions is forcing them to defend against more troops than they can. A lot of these divisions are severely under strength, and again we have the superiority in the air. They have nowhere to escape, and that is going to be the end of the last holdout of Allied divisions in Norway. Well, then we'll try to sum up the overall losses that they've taken in this operation. But then the next step is going to be to reorganize. We are still having to wait for the amphibious tanks to be completed before we can start the Denmark operations. But yeah, I'm going to leave some. I am going to leave some divisions in. I'm going to leave some divisions in to guard the coasts, but I mean, Sweden is open. I've got 3 modern tank divisions here. How are they on? They might have to rest and recover a little bit. How are they strength-wise? Not actually in a terrible shape, I will say. Yeah, the losses I think are minimal on these modern tank divisions. So let's clear that up. So they can probably continue the operation into Sweden. We might. How far is Sweden to capitulation? Not going to see that here. Let's check. Oh, we'll definitely need some fuel first. Norway has capitulated, and Sweden. Where is Sweden? Am I missing something, or am I just blind? There's Denmark. Oh, there it is. Okay, Sweden's still resisting quite a bit. So I don't think taking Stockholm is going to end the war in Sweden. But there we go. The Allied troops in Norway have been wiped out. And the losses they have taken are truly catastrophic. I've got 36,000, another 24,000, plus the 84,000 here. And was like 130,000 troops all in all. Plus tens of thousands here. So I would say all in all they have lost somewhere between 300 and 400,000 troops in Norway. And these are not losses that they're ever going to recover. We are in control of Norway now, which means Germans are taking over the garrisoning. And yeah, that should not be a problem. The rest of Norway's compliance still will have to go up, but we'll get there eventually. And I would say we're looking good. The Swedish air zone does not have any fighters over it. So at this point we can we can get the planes south. We're going to move them over to northern Sweden. And I think we may be able to create another air wing, to be honest. It's a lot of planes that I'm going to be sending to, yeah, we can create another air wing. And just get that trained up. There are a lot of troops, there are a lot of planes that I can send over to, actually this might be a better, is this the same air zone? Okay, these are different air zones. I don't actually have an airport. Okay, I might as well just send them here. I've got some planes I will send them to Germany. They can make use of them if they want to. And yeah, we'll complete. I think we'll complete the capitulation of Sweden and the destruction of the remaining Allied forces in there. All in all, and yes, the losses on the return, like the troops that have managed to get out of Stavanger, have been. A lot of them have not made it across the ocean and have been sunk by our submarine forces while trying to cross the Atlantic into safe waters. So that's not all of them are gonna go get home, and yeah, I think we'll continue cleaning up Sweden. I should have a free operative now. Yes, I do. He can already make himself useful in Czechoslovakia, because once we're done with Scandinavia, the next task is going to be to liberate, probably liberate. I'm going to push. I'm going to get Germany all the way probably up to the French border, and then we'll start liberating the southern areas as well, all the way up to including Austria, and that's where my mountain divisions are going to go next, because they're not going to be needed anymore in the north. But all of that is coming in a future episode. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.